Hi, WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany, and today I have BALTACH, a Wismarian single malt German whiskey. Wismar, or as we say in German, Wismar, is a Hansa city on the Baltic Sea in the state of Mecklenburg-Vorpommern. So if you take a look at Hamburg, you take a look at Berlin, and right in between you have that state basically, and then up on the Baltic Sea. And there was a guy named Stephen Beck. He's about 42 years old, at least he was in 2017. And he decided to resurrect an old art that had basically died out. In the 15th century, there were 180 different breweries in that city of Wismar. There were 130 hops gardens, so that's like a beer garden where you actually drank beer outside. And back then in the 15th, 16th century, in the Hansa city of Lübeck, it was forbidden to sell beer from Wismar because it was so good, and no one would have drank the stuff from their own local city. Now, unfortunately, this art of brewery died out. They used to send it all over Europe, to Holland, to Portugal, all over Sweden, all that along those Hansa routes that used to be there. Back in 1995, there was just one single brewery still left, and Stephen Beck became the director and the CEO and the president of it. It's called the Brauhaus on Lauberg. It's the brewery house on the low mountain or the hill. He's been there now since 1995. Now, he had this wonderful idea of taking this beer and distilling it into whiskey. And about 7 years ago, 2010, his first whiskey was introduced to the market. And it was called BALTACH. BALTACH is Gaelic and means the Baltic Sea. And so that's his name. He actually has a trademark on that. And what we have here is a whiskey that is exactly 3 years old. So he distills it himself. Get ready for this. 875 bottles are the entire production for the year 2017. That's it. You thought Pappy was scarce. 875 bottles, that's it. All right, that's all they produced the entire year. Last year was 900 some. This year it's 875 bottles. Bottles, yeah? Not barrels, bottles. It's 3 years old. It's in ex-bourbon casks, and then it gets a finish in an Oroloso sherry cask. This is a big 500-liter sherry cask, and they put as much in it as possible, and that's why the 875 bottles max. So, this was bottled in May of 2017. It was distilled sometime in 2014. And since this is a booming business, 875 bottles, he has decided to buy a new piece of property. It used to be an old, so for the cows, it was an old stable, like a barn basically. And he's now turned it into a warehouse. And one day soon, hopefully there will be a new still there, and he'll be able to produce even more whiskey. All right, so BALTACH, whiskey from the Wismar in Germany, the Baltic Sea in the former eastern part of Germany. Let's see what the nose says. Okay, I do get some sherry. All right, it's there. I asked the question in the German video. I'm going to ask it again in the English video. All right, Stefan, how many times have you used this sherry cask? If this is your 7th bottling, so you've done this each time once a year for 7 years, how many times have you used that sherry cask? All 7 times? Or just once each time you buy a new cask? I don't know. It doesn't smell like an overpowering sherry cask finish, but it's there. The underlying single malt is okay. And this is also something Germans really haven't understood yet. There's more than single malt out there in the world for whiskey. You have bourbons, 51% corn. You have rye, 51% rye. You have grain, basically made from wheat. Ireland, Scotland, and so on. There's a variety of different things you can actually use to make whiskey. but Germans think, hey, Scotland is the home of whiskey, therefore we're going to make single malts, and everything they have are basically single malts. Every once in a while you find a rye. 60 euros, about 80 bucks, not bad for a full bottle of 700 milliliters over here. All right, let's try it. 43% alcohol, ABV. So 86 proof. The alcohol is there. It's really not bad for 3 years old, to be honest. Whiskey base, if you want to look it up, 101496. It's not bad. It's not great. I'm going to give it a C+. Yeah, it's a C+. It's not a B- yet, but it's a C+. It's one of the better German whiskeys I've had. I've had some pretty terrible whiskeys before, but this is actually very nice. It's round, there's a full body, the barley is there, the sherry is there, the alcohol is not dominating. It's just a very, very coherent, round type of balanced whiskey. It's good. Nothing to write home about, nothing to go, ooh, wow. I've had scotches before, about the same thing, about 7 years old, also from an independent bottler. Tastes almost the same. Would cost maybe about 40 euros instead of the 60 euros for the German version. But hey, made in Germany, all right? So it must be quality. And this is fairly good. All right, so value for price, I'm going to give it a... I gave it a C+, I'm going to give it a C-. All right, so 60 euros for a entire bottle, 700 milliliters for a German whiskey is not actually a bad price. I've had much worse and much more expensive stuff. All right, Stefan Beck, all the best for the future. May your 8th and 9th and maybe even your 10th bottling be even bigger, more successful, and maybe one day you'll have enough to actually send overseas. So people in the English-speaking world might actually be able to try your whiskey as well. BALTACH, B-A-L-T-A-C-H, Gaelish for the Baltic Sea. Congratulations, you have a nice whiskey. Keep on improving it to make it excellent. WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys in his videos. Thank you very much for watching. My videos are Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. See you soon. Bye-bye.